course, if you've got a hip problem, you're not going to move so much on return of serve, or indeed any shot, but particularly return of serve, because you've got so little time to move.
The trouble with injuries is that around an injured area, all the muscles tend to go into spasm to try to protect it. Very difficult to make an instinctive, reflexive movement.
Not much doubt in these conditions that the wrong footing volley is going to be effective. Their lights are on, have been on for a long time. No response at all from the other side. 3-1.
Well, I wonder what Mark Philippoussis is thinking. Of course, he's back in his hotel room. He's got his feet up, watching this match. I wonder what's going through his head. Tony Roach on the end, Mark Waters, physical trainer on his left.
That was a great serve, not only fast on the line, but going away as well with slice. Incredible serve. Sampras would have made that in normal conditions, I think.
Well, absolutely no question now that his mobility has suffered. You can see here, he tracks down this lob. This bounce takes a funny bounce, but look at Rafter. Nothing wrong with his movement, and there's Pete. That was almost a hobble. No question, having trouble moving to the left side. He's, for a guy that is not very flamboyant, he's sort of theatrical, Pete, isn't he? I remember a couple of years ago he was playing Alex Corretcher and he was suffering a stomach bug or exhaustion. I'm not quite sure what it was. He was retching at the back of the court.
Game, Sampras.
Well, he hung in there and held that game.
Rafter leads 3-2.
And Rafter is still ahead by a break, 3-2. And Sampras still looks very unhappy. The US Opens, once when he lost to the little man, Jaime Izaga. And Sampras had the most incredible display of sort of feeling ill, hit the wall. All sorts of medical reports were reaching us in the commentary box. I saw him being carried off like a boxer, really. And apparently he went to a press conference and said, no, I'm okay.
15 love.
The other one, of course, was against Corretcher, where he was actually physically sick on court. Faced a match point. Corretcher served a double fault. He won the match there, hit the wall again. He certainly had dramatic matches. And then, Wally, there was the most incredible Davis Cup match against Russia, which we were at. And he played Chesnikov, and it was 5 sets, and he played the winning point and collapsed. Funny you should collapse at the winning point. I suppose it was just pure emotion, but anyway, he had to be carried off by his captain and trainer. It was a marvellous win, but very, very dramatic.
Well, his girlfriend is an actress, Kimberly Williams. Maybe there's a bit of the thespian in Sampras.
No, you're not inclined.
No, he's definitely injured, and it's a shame because this was a match between two players that were at the very height of their powers. They were both playing brilliant tennis coming into this match, and it's sad that an injury will affect the outcome. No question, Pete Sampras having a lot of trouble, particularly moving to his left-hand side.
Terrific.
Well, the only trouble with lobbing is that you actually push off for the smash on your right side. Watch Sampras here. Little side skip, bang, off the right foot. He does land on the left foot, but by then the damage was done. He had pounded a winner.
15 all.
So if Rafter has the option, okay, the lob is an option, but if he has time, maybe he's better off forcing Sampras low and wide, really stretching him.
Another string gone. It's all happening to Sampras in this match. This will be the 4th racket. And he's got a hip problem. And very much a mobility problem.
Fifteen, 13.
I would assess there must be a slight improvement in the physical condition to enable him to serve and volley, or make him want to serve and volley. Just after he'd done the thing, his hip, he stayed back after serving.
Rafter really trying hard for insurance here in this 4th set. He knows Sampras is dangerous on return, really looking for that second break. But courtesy of a big second serve and a great volley the previous point.
Game Sampras.
Little hobble from Sampras, but a beautifully controlled service game by him. And he's keeping Rafter just the one break point, one broken game ahead. But Rafter will come out and serve ours. And from a cold, clinical, surgical sort of match at the beginning, it's gradually turned into a passionate, very emotional, maybe injured, in the case of Sampras, and a very crowd-involved match now. Before, they were sitting on their hands. They'd worn themselves out cheering Lindsay Davenport, and they were just watching excellence. Now they're watching drama.
15 love.
Didn't need to be that wide.
Well, Sampras, he's obviously in this match for the long haul. At change of ends, he sent 2 or 3 rackets off to the stringer, so a couple of those frames that we saw broken earlier in the match, he's had them sent to be restrung. So in his mind, he intends to be out here for a while yet.
Well, that's good news. Good planning.
If there's anybody that hasn't watched a tennis match live and they ever get the opportunity to just come and see these guys hit the ball, they'll probably start to understand why people do make errors, such as the one we just saw from Sampras, because the rafter serve is just fizzing through the air.
40-15.
I think it's not a bad idea to get to see any sport live just once so that you can truly appreciate what is happening. Golf, tennis, motor car racing, whatever. Darts.
That was some return.
40-30.
Yes, definitely you don't get the true impression of power and speed and agility if you're watching on television. You've got to be down there alongside the players. It's phenomenal, the power of these players when they hit the ball and the incredible things they make the ball do.
Game rafter.
Takes the 5-3 lead.
Rafter leads 5-3.
This has just been such a tight match. Sampras has had 3 break points, Rafter's had 4. Really dominated by the serving of both players.
Love 15.
The odd thing about this Sampras injury is that it happened on such an effortless shot. It was a high backhand volley. There was nothing, wasn't lunging, he wasn't stretched.
15 all.
No, it seemed to come out of nowhere, didn't it? It just does show how susceptible the human frame, however fit and tough it may look, can be.
30-15.
Well, if anything, you'd have to say his serve has been better post-injury. Not trying to do as much, letting his racket do the work.
Two and a half hours exactly now.
All.
Bill, I just can't imagine an injury of this magnitude and an injury that is affecting his mobility this much. I cannot imagine that if he somehow scrapes through this match that he can play tomorrow. I couldn't see it.
Well, no, nor could I.
It would have to seize up overnight. There'd be inflammation, swelling around the area.
So close.
40-30.
You can see the tension in Pat's face. He knows he's just so close away from the US Open final. If he can just stay with it.
Game Sampras.
Sampras treads gingerly to his chair.
Rafter leads 5-4.
But Rafter, because we had the information from the referee's office that it was a hip problem, and that's certainly not his hip, Wally.
No, there's no question.
Time.
You can see Doug Spreen applied ice very briefly. And if that ball boy would get out of the way, we can see from another angle, he has then applied heat. Hard to imagine this can have any real impact. The idea behind ice is that that reduces inflammation or bleeding to the area if there's a slight tear or strain in the muscle, and heat promotes blood flow. But it's just hard to imagine that if it is any serious injury that such a short treatment can do anything.
Yeah, this is all very well, and let's hope it keeps him going for his sake. But I mean, overnight and tomorrow, surely no way an injury like this can. Rafter serving to level at 2 sets all.
15 love.
Excellent smash.
It was an excellent smash, but Pistol didn't move too badly to the first volley, I thought. Let's have a look here. Here he goes. Well, he's hobbling a little bit, no doubt about it, but he covered